Hello and welcome to our Busy Webinar on local pages. This is Dave Meyer with BizzyWeb. Delighted to have you here with us today. And thanks to everyone who joined us last week for Trygve and Jenna's social media gaffes update. We had a great response for that one, so I hope a lot of you are here from that one as well. Here we go. We're going to talk through a bunch of things today. First and foremost, we're going to talk a little bit about BizzyWeb and how to ask questions during the event today. I'm sure with local pages, you're going to have a few questions. That's not a problem, and we'd love to answer those for you, so I will show you how to do that in just a moment. And then we're going to go into local pages. We'll get right into how to do Google, Yelp, Yahoo, Bing, Foursquare, and then we'll also talk a little bit about Facebook because there's some local stuff inside of Facebook too. We're going to round all that out with a little mini demo in particular of Google Plus Local and the Google My Business tool, and then we'll dive in. So let's get down to business for folks that are just getting on, and we have a whole bundle of folks already on with us, so thank you for those folks. Here's how to ask questions during today's event. If you're at the webinar, of course, today, you're probably watching from this window. If you click inside of this window, you'll be able to watch the video. What we want you to do if you're going to ask questions is under number 1 above, you want to click on this Google Plus link. What that Google Plus link will do is it's going to take you into the Google page for the event. You'll see that it says Q&A and live. And on that event page, when you click play, it's simply going to open up a new window on top of this. And then you can see over on the right that there's Q&A. And on the left, you can watch the event. So if you want to ask questions, you simply click the green button in the lower right-hand corner. You click this Ask a New Question button here. And if you ask a question here, I will see it and be able to answer you during the event. Again, if you have questions in particular about how to set up anything online, if you have something specifically about local pages, we'd like to take those first. But also, there's going to be an open spot for any online marketing questions that you have towards the end of the event. This Google webinar or this Google Hangout should take about 35 to 40 minutes, depending on how many questions we have. So hang on with us and let's get down to business. All right, so if you are running around and you want to get up to date on Google Pages, this is your spot. Who we are, of course, is an online marketing company based in Champlin, Minnesota. We've been around for 16 years, and our team of 15 serves clients all over the world. We have a whole bunch of hosting clients that we take care of as well, and we'll talk a little bit more about what we do towards the end. But we specifically focus on online marketing, including web design on WordPress-powered websites, SEO content, pay-per-click advertising, hosting, email marketing, what have you. If you need your online marketing to look great and to be consistent, as they are on here with our social accounts, we are the place to talk to. And so please give us a call. The number at the bottom of the screen is available to ask questions during the event today, and also to connect up if you do have some issues or want help with anything that we're going to be talking about or anything that we talk about on any Busy webinar. Let's get into local pages. So local pages basically are the bellwether and the best way to help you rank well against your competition for when people are closest. One of the killer tips about online marketing in general is to make sure that you're as searchable and findable locally as possible, because we all have supercomputers in our pockets now. And the interesting and kind of scary thing about those supercomputers is they always know exactly where you are. So if someone happens to be caught up in traffic, or they're having a conversation at a restaurant and they pop out their phone and they search for your key phrases or terms, or they search for you, Google is going to know where you are, and they're going to show your company, if it's the closest company to that person, up and over on the top of any other competition, provided you're closer. So particularly if you're trying to reach a local market, local pages are a brilliant way to do that. It's not very hard to set all these things up. And actually, the killer tip that I'll leave with all of you today is to spend the $50 a year that it takes to sign up with Moz Local, and I'll demo Moz Local for you in just a moment. But if you pop up the Moz Local page, you just go to MOZ Local, Google that, and click on the link. What will happen with that is you enter in your business name and your zip code, and then Moz Local will find your website and any of the local pages that you've already set up. If you have not set up those pages, you can see in the gray bars here where BizzyWeb hasn't bothered to set up local pages on these accounts. Things like Next Pages, On the Web, or Best of the Web, and a bunch of other places we don't generally recommend you connect with. The ones that I'm talking about today are the ones that we most recommend for you, and that includes Google, Facebook, Foursquare, Yelp, Yahoo, Bing, and that's really about it. Those are the big ones, and the big ones for traffic. You could also do Yellow Pages and Hot Frog and all kinds of other ones. Moz Local will set those up for you in one fell swoop. In general, the more links you have into your website and the more links that you have going to your specific location, when people are searching on those spaces, that's where you're going to get found. So Moz Local is a brilliant tool and can very much help you to get online and to get everything handled. So if you have any questions on local stuff, again, would love to have you ask those questions in this event. We have a whole bundle of viewers. I know that we do have a couple of questions. I'm hearing Jenna on the phone handling questions. So if you are having technical difficulties on the call, I think everything's working great from our perspective. But if you notice that the video is pausing or jerky, what you can simply do is down at the bottom, you can just scroll backwards on the video by clicking backwards a little bit, or maybe even just hit refresh on this page, and you'll be able to scroll backwards in time a little bit, and then you won't have any problems. Sometimes if you're running a bunch of other programs on your computer, or if you have bandwidth issues, if you're operating on a DSL network, or if you're somewhere that has a shared connection, sometimes those connections can slow down and cause the video to pause or jerk. And so if you just rewind, that usually fixes that for you. Again, if you're having problems, that's probably what we can do for you. You can always review the event if you want to by going to this page, to the event page. This is where the replay of the event is going to be after the end of the event. But of course, we want to have you ask those questions. So if you do have questions, technical issues, questions at all about anything in online marketing, we'd love to hear those from you as well. All right, let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. And here we go. So inside of Google Local, or inside of local pages, really the name or the big name in local page delivery is Google. Google used to have Google Places. That was switched over to Google Plus Local. And now Google My Business is the one spot that you can manage a lot of different information for you and for your business. It's the #1 results driver for local search engines. And most people just use Google for everything that they do. If you have your Google Plus Local page set up and configured properly, you'll show up in Google Maps, you'll show up in Google Earth, you'll show up in Google search results, and all of your stuff will show up the way you want it to. As well, when you're searching on Google My Business, you can check out your reviews from other places on the web, and it's really one spot to manage as much as possible. If you only had to do one thing, or only had time to do one thing, I would recommend that you go to Google, set up your Google Plus page, identify and select your physical location. There's probably going to be a either phone call that you're going to have to receive at your physical location, or if your business isn't old enough or has a good physical presence or a verifiable physical presence enough, they might mail you a postcard, and that usually takes a little less than a week for you to get that postcard. And then as soon as you do that, you take the code on that page, click it together, and your business is then verified. Some of these tools will allow you to speed up that process by paying. In general, we don't recommend that our clients take that step because a week isn't going to make that big of a difference. But paying, if you need to have that all done and all in one set, certainly that's an option that you can do on some of these. So if you want to manage and maintain your clients or your content for your customers, this is a great place to go. You can add your photos, you can add reviews, you can add your hours, your timing. the geographic area that you serve. And in Google My Business, you can actually move the pin so that your business is in the right spot. Google uses this and offers that up so that you can help dial in their search results, especially on maps. And we have clients on occasion, probably one or two every couple of months, that has an issue where their business, if you search for it on Google, Maps takes them to the wrong spot. This is how to fix that. You just go right in Google My Business and you drag the pin to where it needs to be, and then you're magically updated as soon as Google verifies that change. So very simple, very easy. We're going to go into more detail on Google My Business in a little bit because I want to hit the high points of all of the big networks. And so hang on if you want to see more detail on that. And certainly give me details about your questions if you have those via the Google Hangout tool. So if you have those, please knock those in. Yelp. Yelp is probably, in my experience and opinion, probably the #2 local review spot. It's very popular for reviews, and for a while there it was doing battle with Foursquare until Foursquare, in my opinion, really kind of torpedoed their own business and split themselves into two. Foursquare is now the local review, kind of the direct competitor to Yelp, whereas Swarm is the check-in ability. And so Yelp is probably the leader in writing reviews for businesses, mostly restaurants and places that you can drive up to, but really any business is eligible to add their page on Yelp and can be reviewed. One note, you may have a Yelp page already and not know about it because other people can submit your business. And so if they're upset with you or if they love you, they can add your content to Yelp and you might have some reviews out there. One of the things that we should all be doing on a regular basis is Googling ourselves. You might find in your Yelp reviews or in your Moz local review that you have pages out there that you had no idea about, and you may even have some rankings. If you have those rankings, and especially if they're not favorable, the best way to handle those is to encourage people to submit positive rankings, because having good comments as well as bad kind of shows that you're a real business. If you have nothing but fantastic reviews that are all very similar, that might show that you have a spammed site or something that's being tried or that people have been trying to game the system on. And that has a tendency to work against you more than work for you. So make sure that you encourage real reviews on all of these networks. With all of these, Yelp, Yahoo, Bing, Google+, you have to go through some sort of a verification process. The Moz local tools will actually walk you through that very quickly and easily. You can do all of these on your own. It just takes a little bit of time and a little bit of goofing around. When you do it, the big thing that you want to look at is, of course, adding images, adding your hours, adding a little bit about your business, forwarding a link to your website, and even better, to a specific page on your website if you wanted to encourage people to connect with you socially. But having those pages out there and listing these out is a great way to get a link up or a leg up on your competition. Yahoo pages, again, very similar to Yelp and to Google. Yahoo is still used by a ton of people, and they have listings that are similar to Google. They again ask you to verify. For some reason with BizzyWebs, we've gone through and verified 5 or 6 times, and it still doesn't really completely catch, which is why you can see, is this your business? Verify your listing. Yahoo on occasion has trouble with their logins. And so sometimes it's kind of like a third world citizen really on the web as far as this is concerned. But if you take your time and you update, at least we've got our phone number, we've got some photos, we've got our hours and directions inside of here, as well as about and categories. If you do that for your business, if people are searching, this helps you, of course, across Yahoo, but also on every other social and search tool, because all of those tools look at all of the other places that you're listed or findable, and they use that to help modify and strengthen your results. Bing, same thing. It pulls data from LinkedIn, Foursquare, Facebook, and your own content. And so the more details that you have, again, similar with Yahoo, you have to have a Microsoft ID and a live ID or a 365 ID in order to do this. It has to be associated with you and your business. A couple of hoops you have to jump through. Again, easiest way is just to go to Moz Local and fill in that detail and information. When you have that information, you can simply lock it in, and then you'll actually see your content and your reviews. On this one in particular, it says found on Facebook. Foursquare tips are included inside of here. So Bing does a pretty good job at bringing in other things and focusing on that. But as far as the overall glitz and glamour, a lot of the other tools are a little bit shinier as far as what you can get. With Bing, Yelp, Yahoo, you can also advertise, but that's a little bit more ninja tech than what a lot of our businesses and a lot of the BizzyWebinar clients have asked us for. So if you want more information about how to do those advertising things, we can certainly do a BizzyWebinar about that again at some point in the future. Bing, again, probably the number 3 search engine under, you got Google, of course, and then YouTube. So if you have YouTube visits and content, you're going to also want to focus on Bing to kind of keep that up there. Anyone that has Microsoft Internet Explorer baked in to their computer, if they're running on a Windows machine, Bing is usually the default search engine, and you have to switch it. So these are all the people that have been too lazy or not knowledgeable enough to know how to switch away from Bing for a search engine, and that's where you're going to find that content. So having a spot for Bing and making sure that you lock in your Bing results or reviews is a great way to make sure that you're setting up with people that might not be as technologically savvy as others. And so if you have, a salon or a services kind of industry that doesn't have corporate folks visiting it quite often, or that has folks from all walks of life, having Bing is definitely a good option for you. Foursquare I knocked a little bit earlier, but it's still a really solid tool, and you can do a lot of fun stuff with it. If you've heard of Foursquare, and you may not have, they, about a year and a half ago, maybe even 2 years already ago, they split in two. You used to be able to check in on Foursquare and go all over the place and add your reviews and details on public venues. Foursquare split into Swarm and Foursquare that long ago. And so now you check in using the Swarm tool, but reviews and rankings are tied in from Swarm into Foursquare. It's confusing, and it doesn't make a dang lick of sense, but that's how they did it. I think they shot themselves right in the foot, or right in the keyboard hand. And it's been a frustration point for me, because I was a huge fan of Foursquare before, but for our clients as well, because the quality and results have really continued to kind of diminish ever since you can't just do it all in one spot. However, you can create lists and maintain rankings, edit your page for best effect. You can get and check in on Foursquare if you do that on Swarm, I should say, if you do that regularly yourself, and encourage your clients to do that. Every time you do that, again, that goes into the Foursquare database, which is also publicly searchable, and people can see how many check-ins each business has had. So if you have a popular business, a popular restaurant, salon, some sort of a physical location, brick and mortar store where a lot of people would be stopping by, it's a great way to help you rank better in your results by having a Foursquare page. So that's the big stuff for all of the local review pages. Now let's go into a demo. I want to talk a little bit more about details, and of course give you a chance to ask those questions. Steve has asked, my business name is complicated, and now he has 2 Google Plus pages. Can you only have one? And how do you pick the best name to use? And thank you very much, Steve, for asking that question. The short answer is yes, you can pick one. It is, however, tricky. We've done this for our clients before. And first you want to go with whichever account in Google has the most weight, has the most reviews, is most fully filled out. And then you want to go through the Google My Business tools. And there's a setting inside of there that says merge it with another page. And so in your Google Plus page, you're going to want to figure out which one you want to keep, and then you can delete that page. It'll ask you if you want to merge it with another page, and then you simply say yes, select the page that you want it to merge to, and that's how that works. You're probably going to want to try to connect with a Google account representative to help you with this. If you're advertising with Google, they're very helpful with this, but if you're not paying them any money, they are a little less helpful. It's a good practice to just have that up, and yes, absolutely pick one name to use. So once you do that, you'll have your Google Plus profile set up, and that's what you're going to want to focus on. And whichever one that you have, you can then tie that in with YouTube videos and get all that stuff locked in. And again, I'll go into that in a little bit. So let's look at that inside of Google Plus. First, before I do, because I don't want to lose this, Moz Local is the tool that I mentioned before. If you go to Moz's homepage, you're going to see moz.com, and then you can simply do Moz Local. It's a link over up on the upper right. Once you click on Moz Local, you can click inside of here, and then it'll give you this search tool. You enter your business, in my case, BizzyWeb, and you enter your postal code 55316, and you go to check my business listing. So BizzyWeb is getting searched right now. This is as easy and as hard as it is. See, we have a couple of variations ourselves on what we do. These are identical. It's 11190 Commerce Drive North, Commerce Drive North. I think the difference, yeah, I can't even tell the difference between these two. Oh, there's the phone number is the difference. So the official phone number is this one, and so this is the account that I'll check on. This is our former address, but when you click on this, it goes in and it searches for you, and it tells you all the locations where you're currently set up and listed. So I have 52%. Again, you don't have to freak out too much if you have a lower kind of connection, because the ones that are incomplete here are the ones that are down at the bottom. So info group, we haven't bothered to set up. Local ease, city search, insider pages, best of the web, and Axiom are all not set up. Yelp, I need one more review on that before it shows up in the official listings. But you see we've got Hot Frog, YP or Yellow Pages, Bing, Factual, Super Pages, Foursquare, Facebook, and Google, of course, are all filled out. So this will tell you, and with one click, it'll tell you what to do, how to do it, and give you a quick link into that. So that's my little note on Moz Local. Again, it's $50 a year to have them help you with this and manage it and maintain it. Very well worth the investment. We don't get any money out of this if you do it. I just think it's a great option for small businesses to just sign up with Moz and spend the money and not have to chase all over the web to do it. So we talked about Google My Business and Google Local. If I go back to the Google Plus Local page, when you set up your Google Plus account as a person, you'll be able to set up a Google Plus page for your business. And then when you set this up correctly, it'll be your business, and then, or plus.google.com/BizzyWeb. If I just go to google.com/plus-BizzyWeb, it takes me to this page. Again, you can see a little check mark. That means it's verified. You can see the details. You can see the address, and it takes you right into Google Maps. There's a one-click phone number that takes you right into this page, and then it gives you the detail that you're looking for on this account. It's got your contact information on here. You can list in your specific categories that you want to be found for, as well as a little quote that tells people who you are and what you do and why they should care. Your URL, of course, is right here. And for Rob, the question that you had on here before, this is what you want to get to. You want to have one of these, and if you have two, it makes things confusing. So inside of here, you can go, if you're logged in, you'll see I have on top of this page, you're a manager of this page, manage this page. If you're not a manager of that page, it'll ask you to verify or to submit to say that you're the owner of the page. And then they'll ask you a couple of questions. They might send you, again, a postcard to have you verify. But once you get inside of here, this is super easy to manage and maintain. When I click on this manage this page thing, it's going to take me into the Google My Business page. So on Google My Business, this is where you can manage and see a ton of information about your business. So you can manage the photos that are included on your website. You can add a virtual tour through a local partner. They'll send a photographer out. There is a fee associated with that, but it's not that expensive for what you get. You can see your address, and you can manage all of that. And then you can view the insights. So over the past 30 days, we've had 2,000 or so people visit our site, 30 or 95 clicks into the site from the Google tools, and 4 new followers on Google+. So I can go into all the details on insights inside of here. Again, this is Google+ Insights. So that's fun and interesting. As far as Google's concerned, this is what you show up as inside of the Google world. Google Analytics, these are actually visits to my website. And so 1,600 website visits, about 49% up. Unique visitors around 1.3 thousand or 1,300. And then page views, around 3,000 page views, and that's up 22% on this page as well. You can dig in deeper on analytics. Again, when you set up your account, it asks you for all this stuff. You have to set up a Google Analytics account. You have to associate it with your page. When you set up your Google Plus page for your company, you can associate it with a YouTube account. We've got a bunch of new subscribers. We've got 3,500 visitors so far this month to our YouTube page, and 17.4 thousand minutes watched inside of our YouTube channel page. A big number of that was from the social media gaps again, so thanks to Trigvi and Jenna for running that great one. Evidently, I need to get out of town more often and run these because they did a fantastic job. We have an average, you can see your reviews and you can manage those reviews. That searches other places other than just Google as well. Google has found 3 places that were reviewed, and then you can advertise easily in minutes. Of course, that's how they pay for this tool. They get you to spend money. So when you go inside of here, you can edit your content. And so if you click on that red edit button, it takes you right inside of here, and you can edit your business name. Inside of here, if you click on this edit, this is where you can drag your pin around. So if you click on edit, you can simply drag that to where you're actually located. You enter in your address name first, of course, and then it takes everything inside of here. And then you can show where you deliver your goods and services to. BizzyWeb does around within 200 miles of our business, but really we go anywhere in the world. And so you can edit that content. You can also edit your hours, the introduction. Again, you want to include as many keywords inside of that update when you're publishing that. And then when you're done, you can click inside of here. Rob, you had asked on how you get rid of the one page. You can either delete the page, get help with the page. That would probably be the first step, because I wouldn't go right to delete. It'll ask you to confirm, and it gives you like a 15-day window before it actually officially deletes it. But if you have problems with the page or need help, that's probably the first 2 ways to do it. But again, that's inside of Google My Business. And in order to do that, in order to use Google My Business, you have to have that Google Plus page configured. So you go to Google Plus, add your account. You just need a Gmail account of some sort. And then you go in, set up a page. There's a button on there that says set up the page. Then you enter in your information and take the details from there and make it go. So that's how you would merge a page. When you look at your insights, again, there's details across the top. 75,000 people visited so far all time. This is the details for the last 30 days. So 430 folks visited our site or our search page last week. And then you can see all the details: photo views, post views, local search views, and all the other details on what you get. As far as clicks, driving directions requests, not a lot of people drive to the BizzyWeb headquarters, and so we don't have much data on that. And then calls through the tools. If you have Google phone, or what do we call it? I'm blanking on it. The Google Voice, Google Voice calls, and you have that associated with your business, you can actually see in the last 4 weeks to pop up that report. We don't get a ton of calls in. Most of our stuff comes over the web, and so we don't have that listed on here. You can see posts. You can see your audience, text and others, links, photos, recent posts, optimizing for videos that will amp up your online marketing, making sense of Google Analytics, the details and data on what people are doing. It's all kind of locked in. And then the audience, followers by country, gender, and age. You need at least 200 followers on here. And so we had 4 new followers, but so we need to boost that up a little bit. And then you can see your reviews. So what's been happening on here. So Jonathan, Dave, Jamie, all posted wonderful reviews of us, and you can edit and post responses inside of here. You can see that right inside of there. And then, of course, inside of photos, this is, again, something that you manage and maintain, but you can post up your identity. This is what BizzyWeb uses for our profile photos. And then you can see interior photos of your business, exterior photos, photos at work, team photos, and additional photos. You can add all that stuff in. It's nice, and it gives a real overview and feel for your business. And so if you have a local business, all the stuff that you can get through Google My Business and just editing those Google places is a huge help for you. Moving forward, Yelp, again, same kind of thing. You can edit your page, you can write reviews, you can add, share. You need to log in order to do that, and I did not log in on this, but you can add your categories, and then you can get details inside of here. And so very simple, easy. We've got our photos loaded up on what we do. Same thing with Yahoo, and you've got this detail inside of here. BizzyWeb.com, you can see more info inside of the page. So this takes you into the details near the intersection of Commerce Drive and Lane. All the details. We help our clients generate buzz without getting stung, and categories, web service, and agencies. So very easy for that. Same thing with Bing. You can find our Facebook page here, our website, get directions. It's got Foursquare tips inside of here. And then you can edit these things. And if it's your business, you need to sign in order to do that. But it'll take you right in, and you can edit that data. Again, same thing for Facebook or for Foursquare. You can offer details, directions, information, keep all of this kind of up to speed and selected. And we manage a bunch of different things inside of our Foursquare page. We have lists of our clients. We have details on what we get. And if you manage the location, it takes you into all that detail. So very simple, very easy. And there's a few things that you can add up. They hit you right up top for opening your ads. You can manage business listings, create specials, manage tips, and see your customer stats. I want to post customer stats inside of here. September, we had 9 check-ins. October, we had 1 customer at our venue. So it's kind of fun. And then Facebook, of course, is the big dog in social media, period. But when you're in here, when you post your about stuff in your page, you can enter in your local connection, your local address. And then that gives that, again, location information so that you show up when people are searching inside of Facebook or whenever they're on a phone or whenever they're local and nearby. So we've got details on here. Here's our stuff. Here's our price range. Here's when we're open. Here's our main phone number. You can see page info and all the details that we added inside of here. Again, 11190 Commerce Drive North. When we were founded, our details, put all this stuff together, and all of that is available to the public. Milestones, page owners, all that stuff is easy to edit and maintain. So in general then, we might want to open this up to additional questions. If you have further questions on this page or on this event, Steve, again, thank you for publishing those questions or the question about that page, and hopefully that helped. If you need more detail or help, we can certainly help you with that. But in the meantime, I wanted to just give a couple of notes and wrap up. Again, if you do have those questions, you want to ask them in person, just dial us up at 612-4-BIZZY-O. At 612-424-9990. And we'd love to help you and answer those questions. Remember that we do online marketing, especially web design, web hosting, and bespoke online marketing, including helping you get set up on Google+, local, Google local pages, any of the local pages that we talked about today, setting you up with email marketing, Google AdWords, or blogging. And so we have all of those services available to you anytime you need them. And please give us a call if you'd like help. Remember to join us every Wednesday, because we do have things going on each and every Wednesday at noon. Next week, we're going to talk about how to find fortune in the follow-up, how to follow up inside of your online marketing, specifically talking about CRM and how to tie in your customer relationship management practices and database with your website. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about landing more sales with New Business Minnesota. We're going to be down in Bloomington for that. If you're up in the northern metro, we're going to talk with the Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce next Tuesday. And then again, we've got our BizzyWebinar, and then a SCORE webinar. We're going to be at BMO Harris. And then Wednesday the 28th, we're going to talk about measuring your marketing, how to use Google Analytics and other analytical tools to measure what you're doing so that you can be as successful as possible. If you would like details and more information on how to do this, and you'd like us to take a peek, just go to BizzyWeb.com/buzz and fill out a buzz report request. You're going to get a report that looks a lot like this, and you'll see the good signals, what things are missing, and you'll walk away with a checklist on things that you can easily improve to get you found better on the web. This is free to you. The report takes about 45 seconds to load, so we figure, less than 2 minutes, you'll have everything you need. So go ahead and fill that out if you'd like, and make sure to note if you'd like us to give you a call and help you walk through the details on that. Again, I am Dave Meyer with BizzyWeb. Would love to see you next week for Fortune in the Follow-Up or at any of our other events. And remember, at BizzyWeb, we help you generate buzz without getting stung. Thanks. Have a fantastic week, and we'll talk to you next time.